So a few years ago, I was completely blown away by the movie Mad Max Fury Road. I had never seen any of the Mad Max films, so I wasn't that interested in Fury Road when it came out, and because of that, I didn't see it in theaters. I waited till it was out on Blu-ray, and I rented it, and I watched it at home, and I was like, good God, why didn't I see this in theaters? It's one of two films in the past few years that I deeply, deeply regret not seeing in the theater, the other being Blade Runner 2049. Anyway, I was recently playing the Mad Max video game. I'll give my thoughts on that game at the very end of this video in case anyone's interested, but it got me thinking, you know, I liked Fury Road so much and I was learning so much about the origin of Mad Max through this game that it made me want to watch the original films. So I got the original 1979 film by George Miller, Mad Max, as well as the sequel, The Road Warrior. I'm gonna compare both and give my thoughts on each and tell you which one I like better. This review will be similar to my review of The Terminator versus Terminator 2. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to check that video out. I'll link that in the description. Okay, so Mad Max, 1979, starring Mel Gibson. This movie was not what I was expecting. Based on Fury Road and the video game, my only exposure really to Mad Max had been this barren desert wasteland post-apocalyptic nightmare with face-painted war boys and these crazy vehicles. So that's kind of what I was expecting Mad Max, the original film, to look and feel like, and it's not. Really, none of those elements that I just described are in the original film. If you've seen it, you know that, but I was surprised, like I said. It does take place in a dystopian future, but you know, instead of this barren desert wasteland, it's set in this beautiful Australian countryside with green grass and water. No desert, no war boys, just a deranged biker gang. I liked this movie though. It was fun. I could tell it was shot on a shoestring budget, which I love watching films where you can tell it was a passion project for the director. You know, not a lot of money, but they did the best they could with this small budget. And really what stood out and what makes Mad Max is the incredible car chase sequences, and the stunt work is really impressive in this film. I did not like the ending of this movie though. The ending was like the most abrupt ending of any movie I'd ever seen. I remember when the credits came up, I yelled at the TV. I was like, that's it? So the sequel, The Road Warrior, came out in 1981, and this is where you get the Mad Max universe that I was expecting. You get the barren desert wasteland and the crazy cars and the weird villains. I was really excited for this film because I know a lot of people consider it to be better than the original, which is pretty rare for a sequel. And I gotta say, I was not blown away by this movie. Granted, I'm watching it 40 years after it came out, so you gotta take my review with a grain of salt. The movie starts with a montage explaining kind of what went wrong with the world and how we got to where we are now with everything going haywire and resources becoming scarce. And I liked that. I don't, as an audience member, I don't always need things spoon-fed to me, but a little bit of explanation for, especially at the beginning of a movie when you're setting things up, it's never a bad thing. And I do feel like that's what the first film was missing a little bit. There were times when I just wanted to know a little bit more about this world that Mad Max was living in the first film. If it had had just a sentence or two set up at the beginning, I think it could have benefited from that. And as far as the chase sequences and the stunt work is concerned, I was just as impressed with the stunts in the first film as I was in the second. I will say that The Road Warrior had a bit more of a narrative storyline with Max coming across this camp and helping this group of people try to defend themselves from this evil gang, coming up with a plan and this diversion. Just a little bit more of a story than the first film. And the climax sequence was cooler than in the first film. So which one did I like better? Honestly, I could have gone either way on this one. But the second one had a bigger budget, obviously, and George Miller just went all in on weird in the second one, which I loved. So I'm gonna give the edge to The Road Warrior. I liked that one just a little bit more than Mad Max. Okay, all you Mad Max super fans out there, let me hear it. Let me know in the comments what I'm getting wrong. What did you think of the films? And let me know, should I watch Beyond Thunderdome? Is it worth it? Let me know. Okay, like I said, I would talk briefly about the video game Mad Max for PS4. It's a few years old. It's an open world game. You play as Max, and it had some fun elements to it. I enjoyed upgrading the vehicle and chasing down cars and blowing them up. But I did find the game to just become incredibly tedious and repetitive after a while. I didn't find the world itself to be that fun to explore. And you spend so much time looting boxes and gaining materials for not that much reward or payoff. And the missions themselves weren't that exciting. So overall, I had some fun with it, but towards the end, I was ready for it to be over. Have you played the game? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. All right, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.